You didn't ask, but today we're going to be reviewing It Welcome to Derry, the first TV show we've reviewed. We're going to be reviewing the entire first season. The finale just came out this past Sunday. We're going to talk spoiler free, then we're going to get into the entire season spoilers. I'm Tyler.
I'm Jory.
I'm Spencer.
All right, let's talk spoiler free for this show first. I'm assuming the spoiler free section is probably going to be like a little quicker than normal because there's just so much to talk about in the show. But spoiler free, what would you rate the entire season of It Welcome to Derry out of 10?
Honestly, I'm going to give it a 9. This has been one of my favorite shows of the year, if not my literal favorite show of the year. It was honestly phenomenal.
Jory?
I think I like to rate TV shows a little bit higher than movies generally.
Let's hear it.
So I'm going to say like 8.3.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You know, fucking 8.5 or something. I'm going to give it like, I'm going to say a 9, maybe a 9.5. Like, I thought this show was spectacular from beginning to end. I think it's not perfect, which is why it's not a 10 out of 10. There's some moments that bring it down a little bit, but they're just like small moments. Like, but in the moment, I had so much fun with it. And like, watching TV, mostly like episodic, like weekly releases for me is always hard with like work and life to like actually sit down every week and make sure I'm caught up. But every Sunday, I was freaking doing the Pennywise shuffle, dancing to that theme song. Like every Sunday, that shit was on at 9 p.m. It's gonna suck when we don't have It Welcome to Derry Sundays anymore. Like that, it was so good. I really liked it.
Yeah. This show really reminded me how much I like episodic weekly releases.
Yeah,
like, being able to go in and talk to people every day about what they saw over the weekend it's a nice feeling.
I was late to the party, so I think they had released like 7 episodes already. Like the first 7 episodes of 4.
Did we not tell Jory to watch it? We literally told him from like episode 1, and he goes, I don't watch.
I was on the fence, but you know, I'm glad I watched it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to like space it out over so many days, so I wasn't watching like the whole series in like one sitting. But no, I think I agree. I think I like when TV shows are, like you said, episodically released.
Yeah, I think an episodic release just like not only does it give you like the time to like what Spencer said, like look up things and theorize with people and talk about it, but it also keeps the conversation alive for so much longer and keep the hype up so much more. Like Stranger Things 4 or 5, sorry. Like yeah, the hype is pretty big for that season, but they released the first 4 episodes like 2 weeks ago, and like the talk was huge for the first week, and like people were still talking about it, but it's not the talk of the town right now. But every week, every Sunday, my feed is filled with It Welcome to Derry theories and spoilers and talks about the episodes. It creates like a community of like talking and theorizing and experiencing this story together instead of just being like, well, I binge watched 8 episodes in one night, so I'm going to spoil it for all of you. It's like, no. So
Dude, I had honestly started a little late too. I think I started on like the 2nd or 3rd episode that came out, and seeing all the memes like flood my time week is honestly what made me start like wanting to watch it. I was like, everybody's talking about this show. I'm seeing funny jokes, but I don't know what they're talking about. And then I check it out and it's really fire.
the Pennywise memes are absolutely phenomenal from this show. I love seeing all the memes that come out from Pennywise, like the actual, like the clown, like they just screen capture him in the wackiest moment, and it's so great. I thought the acting was really good too. Do you guys think that Bill Skarsgård deserves an Emmy or any type of award for his role as Pennywise in It Welcome to Derry?
Well, I mean, I think yes, like in terms of like his like physical acting, it's like so unique and rare. But it's hard to like, again, like compare him to like someone acting in, I mean, this is like a drama series, obviously a thriller, horror, whatever you want to label it. But I think like I was trying to say, like his physical his physical acting is like one of a kind.
Okay, so what's the downside of his acting that you wouldn't give?
I mean, I was just like, is that
I think you're just hating. You're just hating.
Is that no? But I'm serious.
It just sounds like you're hating.
Is that enough of like a reason to give somebody an Emmy?
100%. I think he should win the awards. I think his like the way he transforms his face and his body and he like the eyes, that's like literally him. Like his drooling, like he drools more than Jory when he sees the little kids on the screen. That was a good one. That's a good one.
No, but I definitely think Bill Skarsgård is delivering one of my favorite horror portrayals, like in the genre.
Yeah.
With what he's done with Pennywise, like he's really killed the role.
Dude, I can't imagine anyone doing it.
Is he, leading actor, supporting actor?
I feel like it would be supporting. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact categories the Emmy has, but I would assume it'd be supporting.
Or I think it's kind of tricky though too, because of how little he showed up in the first half of the series.
Yeah.
Or I guess of the season so far. But yeah, in like the last like 3-4 episodes, he was really fantastic.
Guy was on demon time. Yeah, that was. I don't know. I think he was really, really good. Like, I don't know. He was just like phenomenal. And I think. Do you think any of the kids in Welcome to Derry deserve an Emmy? Which one did you guys like the acting from the most?
Rich was acting his butt off.
Yeah,
Rich really delivered a goated performance.
Yeah, Rich.
Was good. I think I'm not a kid, obviously, but Halloran did a fantastic job too.
Halloran, yeah, phenomenal.
I think of
really killed that role. That was Chris Chalk.
Of the children, I think I was really blown away by Lily and Ronnie's characters. Like, just from like an emotional sense, like how they like could portray fear and like anxiety and all these like emotions so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Halloran was definitely up there for me too.
Yeah, I think Halloran in terms of the adults that wasn't Pennywise, I would say like Halloran. Even Leroy was really good as well. Like he portrayed some. I think all of them were great. Like there wasn't one actor I was like, oh, you kind of suck. Like you don't stack up to the rest of them. The kids, like I think they were all great as well. I think also underrated Marge, because I hated her in the beginning of the series, but by the ending of it, I was like, let's go. We won't get into spoilers just yet, but yeah. So, but I would say like I think Richie's really great. I really enjoyed Will's character as well, and the acting that went with that. I felt really connected to him, and that's for the actor. I think this. Yeah, I think we got to get into spoilers because we have a whole 8 hours
so much
to start
more
talking about. Yeah, we got to get into talking spoilers. So, George George.
Shout out the money spread.
Oh,
money spread.
God. Where do you find this? These kids are loving these. That's not even Will. That does not look anything like Will. Who is that?
Lily's pockets are stuffed.
oh my God. Yeah. Rich is dripped out.
Yeah.
And Marge doesn't have an eye.
Yeah, I didn't even see he's got the cup. He's got the cup.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Jesus. All right. Let's talk spoilers for A Welcome to Derry, since Jory's background is a spoiler anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, since we were just talking about
that's what happens.
I did see a clip where the actors for Marge and Rich were talking about the scene where Rich like burns up, and apparently a lot of that was improv.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like the part where they were saying I love you to each other, Rich kissing Box at the end, like that was all improv.
Oh wow!
Damn, I saw a clip of they were talking. They were on like Instagram Live.
Yeah,
and Marge's actress was like, "Oh, everyone," or no, Rich was like, "Oh my God, everyone had such like emotions on that episode of stuff. Oh, it was a great I forget how he said it, and then Marge's like, "Yeah, because you died," and then Rich was like, "That's not a good thing," because he's like 12 and she's like 17, and he's like, "Oh, that's not a good thing." Like
the difference in ages, like humor types.
Yeah. No, dude.
I think I guess on that topic, like that episode, The Black Spot, where, this like racist mob shows up and starts. Does it make sense to go out of order for the series, or does it not really?
I feel like if they've seen the show, like if they're watching the spoiler section.
I mean, I feel like we can just talk about like whatever we want, like just skip around, but like we might get to certain points where we can talk about a certain episode, but like we don't have to go episode by episode. That'll take us all night to talk about that.
Yeah, so. But I think that
how about your favorite moments?
Yeah, the black spot and that whole scene was just, I don't know. It was so like devastating, and like, I don't know. I think it just captured like the horrors of like, obviously the show, like what Pennywise is, and like, what Halloran was seeing, but also just like what life was like during that time, like the racial division in the town and everything, not just the town, but in America and the world.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, the great thing about that episode was like the horror for the first half of that episode literally had nothing to do with Pennywise. Like it had all to do with the actual white cult and the white mob. Like, and they were more terrifying. Like literally when Pennywise shows up in the black spot, I'm like, oh, relieved. Because I'm like, I know like what Pennywise is after. I know what he's doing. I know. But with like humans, you never truly know. And that's the thing that Stephen King always does really well in all of his stories. He might have a supernatural monster that's absolutely terrifying, but he's always going to show you that the human nature is sometimes even more terrifying. And I think he even said like with the story of it when he wrote it, he was trying to figure out how do you haunt an entire town and like show the cobwebs and the dark corners of an entire town. And this is how Pennywise is there. And he's just like exaggerating and aggravating what's already there and just making it like boil over. And now you get to see stuff like this. But that episode, we're going to talk about that episode more because that episode was insane.
Yeah, really talking more about that moment. Like the fact that the racism and the problems that they're facing, unlike Pennywise, it doesn't have like a 27-year cycle where it's like these horrible things are happening and it's isolated to like this specific time period.
Yeah.
Like, that was really just what life was.
Okay, so on this note, what was your favorite episode of It Welcome to Derry?
Honestly, I think it was episode 7. I think that was my favorite episode, but episode 8 was phenomenal too.
Jory?
Yeah,
I mean, I can
like
go.
the episode when they went down into the sewers. I forget what episode that was.
I think it was like 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think that like when Maddie showed up, and then obviously the military people went down there to kind of scope out the situation. But yeah, I think the black spot is probably number 1.
Yeah. For me, it's the black spot. The black spot is definitely the best one. And then I would say the finale and that the finale and maybe the first episode are like tied, and maybe the one, I don't know, they're all so good, but I think the black spot stands way above the rest. The black spot episode, the burning of the black spot, might be one of the greatest episodes of television that I've seen in such a long time. The way that they filmed the actual burning of it down as a one take, where you are a person in that burning black spot looking around. People are dying here, getting shot here, burning here, screaming here. You see Marge and Rich running in and out of the flames. Smoke is going. Oh my God, what's this? Oh my God, there's a dancing clown. And you just turn away from me. You're like, wait, what the? And then you come back and it's just the dancing clown. And you're like, absolutely phenomenal. They are brilliant for making that a one shot and making you feel like you are literally one of the human beings in that. And the best part is we had the amazing, I think Pennywise was the best I've ever seen him in the Black Spot episode. And then you also get the absolute devastating horror of the human side and the Bauer family. If you know, you know.
I can't lie though, Hank Grogan was kind of making me mad in that episode.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When everybody first like walked into the black spot and they were like, "We know he's here. Where's he at?" And then he just popped out and he was like, "Hey, everybody, I'm right here."
Yeah,
but
the thing is, I think
you gotta stay in the room.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were gonna burn that thing down regardless if he came out. They were literally just looking for a reason to like burn the black spot down and kill a bunch of.
Because like in that moment before it happened, I was thinking maybe Halloran uses like his like power, like the Shining or something, to try to get them out of there before they see him. But as soon as he walked out there, I was like, yeah, it's
yeah.
He gave himself up so quickly, like within seconds of them showing up.
And that's the thing is like that shows that he was willing to like give himself up for the community. The community wouldn't give him up, but then they all trusted the white folk. And they walked out when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna leave. All right, we'll leave," and they just let them walk out. I'm like, why are you not following them? They're not leaving. I know they're not. And then and then the flames came. And I was like, I knew it. Come on.
And I guess it's interesting the like kind of change of like perspective for Halloran, because initially when he like found out that what's his name, Hank was like hiding out in the spot, he was like, I don't want any part of this, basically.
Yeah.
To the point where he's now like defending him against his mob.
Yeah.
So
Halloran was such a great character. I thought he was so good. Let's save the finale. We'll talk about the finale by itself, but we can talk about everything else because there's so much I could talk about with the finale. But yeah, what do you guys think about Rich's death? Were you expecting it? I remember I asked Jordan before he got there. I was like, "Who's your favorite character, Jordan?" He was like, "I really like Richie and Will." I was like, "Yeah, those are good guys." And Spencer, did I trick you?
No.
Yeah, I knew I probably didn't.
I saw a spoiler for Rich before it happened, like maybe a day before I watched it. But even before that, I had been telling you, Tyler, that I thought Rich was gonna die because the guy was just too cool. I was like, you give a kid this much respect, and the shit.
Yeah, when you give him a drum, when into an adult comes over to a little kid, hey man, you want to play drums with us? Yeah, and they have a full
and then he was killing it on the drums. I was like, this is bad.
I'm like,
I was like, something bad's gonna happen to him.
Yeah, you're dead. Yeah, I tried. So Spencer told me he got spoiled, and I was like, what was the spoiler? I knew exactly what it was when he said it too, and he was like, oh, I saw like a picture of Rich's lifeless body, and I was like, that must be Photoshop because they wouldn't do that. They would wait till the finale, and he was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, come on, man, you really think they would kill off Rich?
They tried to hit me with that's AI, and I was like, yeah, probably not.
I tried saving you because, dude, I tried saving you, but I knew.
I mean, I don't want to say I'm glad Rich died. Messed up. But like, I think it's good that, like, you know, we always talk about like plot armor, you know, and like characters just like being invincible. I feel like I think it's good that like they're not to like kind of take away.
Yeah, I mean they showed that in the first episode that they were like they would make you care about people and then they would chop them off. There was a little more plot armor in it than I expected, but there's lore reasons for that. So I guess I can get behind that. But someone like Richie, or the original kids, Maddie and oh my god, I'm forgetting their names now. Maddie and the other, other kids. No, not Will. The ones who die in the first episode.
Oh, right.
Whatever their names was, like I'm glad that they did have you care about certain characters and then take them out.
The only one with the plot armor was Lily when she got that shard.
yeah. What do you guys? Oh, that's not. We'll wait for a finale, but yeah, I thought that was great. What did you guys think about how they like kept Pennywise kind of hidden until like episode 4 or 5?
I like the big reveal. Like I like the build up to it. To have Pennywise in every single episode kind of would have watered down his effect, but waiting to see his actual clown form, like the peak Pennywise that everyone was like a cool build up, like for fear factor.
I saw people complaining when the first 3 or 4 episodes were out, and they were like, "Oh, we want to see the clown. We don't care about his shape shifting." And people were like, "Well, that's literally what Pennywise is. He's a shapeshifter. He's not always going to be the clown." And everyone was complaining, "They want to see the clown. They want to see the clown." And then for the last 4 episodes, there was only clown, and people were like, "Oh, they're overdoing it with the clown. They're overdoing it with Pennywise." I'm like, "What do you want? Do you want the clown or do you not want the clown?"
No, I like that. Like it, you know. Over time, like obviously we've seen it in the movies if you've seen the movies, so like it wasn't like a major reveal as to like what he looks like and how he acts and everything, but
it's more just the hype of seeing him.
Yeah, definitely. And like it's a, you know, he's a clown. Obviously, like the whole backstory is that he's like, you know, putting on performances, and now he's like, you're kind of like building up this like big reveals, like you're pulling back the curtains in like a kind of theoretical sense.
Yeah. I think it's also good because I think Welcome to Derry does the best job at like really showing the Deadlights' power, and not only being Pennywise, they can shapeshift. So you know, for the first 4 episodes, every monster you see, everything you see, like that's all Pennywise. We'll call him Pennywise just for Pennywise's sake, but that's all his power. So it's cool to see like how powerful he is to be able to like really screw around with these people and be these gigantic things and not only be Pennywise. And then when he shows Pennywise the form, he's like chilling in that form. So I really like that. What do you guys think about the backstory of Bob Gray?
Bob Gray being
Pennywise,
right?
Yeah. What did you guys think of the backstory of Pennywise and how the Deadlights got that form?
I liked how it's like the whole idea of like, oh yeah, like children seem to be like kind of attracted to you in the sense of like this, you know, this performing clown that they go to see at the whatever this carnival is. Like I don't know, I think that just like makes sense in my mind as like a way to kind of embody something that's gonna lure in kids in a very strange way. But It makes sense, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It kind of did make me ask the question though too, like, would Pennywise adopt a new person's persona after like a certain amount of time to fit more so what kids in a new era were interested in?
Yeah, I mean,
Is he
could
gonna
be.
look like the Rizzler?
No, oh my god,
Rizzler.
he's gonna look like an iPad, a floating iPad or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought the backstory of Bob Gray was really cool to see. We've always like theorized in the book. Obviously, we know about the backstory, but I really liked. I feel like I don't know. This might be like false. I haven't read the full book yet, but this might just be like false information. But I thought I heard somewhere like in the book, like Bob Gray was like actually like not a good person. Like he was like kidnapping children and stuff. So, but I like if that is true. I'd like in the fact that the way we got to see Bob Gray was not that. He's just a normal guy. He's like a normal clown. He just likes to entertain. And I like the moment where he like is smoking and the deadlights come up as that kid and he's like, fuck off, like get away from me.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want anything to do with this kid. He's like, dude, just let me have my like cigarette break. Like he
break before
yeah, like yeah. And I like the fact that the deadlights were just like, nah, like we're not letting you. And I like the fact that they didn't show what happened when he went into the woods. Not showing is a lot scarier than showing, like Pennywise becoming like I think that's a lot scarier to just be like he went in the woods and he was never seen again. We have no idea what happened.
Then they just bring back like the little cloth and show it to young Periwinkle.
Daughter, yeah.
Periwinkle.
What did you guys think about her character?
I thought it was good to like kind of have her move the plot forward with Lily, and then like obviously the whole Juniper Hill connection, her being a patient there. But I don't know. I think it's interesting how you kind of introduce her into the story as, you know, the daughter of Pennywise, and then you get the understanding of why Pennywise is what he is.
And then her and Hank Grogan kind of she uses him to set up the black spot.
That was a crazy moment because I was always thinking about it, like, and they even say it in the show, like, not Halloran, Grogan, not Hank Grogan, Will's father, Hanlon, Leroy Hanlon. He says to Hank, he's like, whatever you were doing on that night cannot be worse than murdering like 4 children. He's like, I don't know. And I was like, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, there's nothing. And then they show that he was having a relationship with a married woman who's white, and I was like, oh, yeah, in this day and age, that's probably worse than killing a bunch of kids, like, unfortunately. So I thought that was a really cool connection. Did he ever like find out about Ingrid?
She was like playing him.
I don't even know if she was playing him or not, but like that she was related. Did he just like never speak to her again? I don't remember.
No, when he first like had that thing happen where he was out of the prison van and he was on the run, she was like the first person he contacted.
Yeah, I mean after that, like after she drops him off at the black spot, I don't think they ever meet up again.
No, they kind of don't.
Yeah,
she's also at the black spot, but she's more so just there waiting on Pennywise.
Yeah,
because she knows what's about to happen. But that's why I said it was a setup, though, because it's like she definitely knew they were coming.
Oh yeah,
she just didn't mind.
Yeah, 100%. Well, she called it. She called them. She told them where he was because she dropped him off there. I love that moment. Well, first of all, I love Ingrid or Periwinkle's backstory in it. Welcome to Derry. I thought it was really cool seeing her like she's just obsessed. She just wants to see her father, but then she starts bringing the kids down to die. And I like the fact that Pennywise is like, I could use you. Like, I like that it shows that he's not just a mindless monster. Like he's
really manipulative.
Yeah. I mean, he's a D1 rage baiter. Like, he totally pranks everyone. Like, Pennywise, like, he is there just to fuck with everyone. He's an aura farmer at heart, and he's all about the rage baiting. Like,
I really think that might have been my favorite thing about the portrayal of this Pennywise versus the one in the It movies. Maybe it's because we had more time with Pennywise's character, but to see all of the trolling and stuff that he was doing to like mess with the kids just really drives home the point that he gets a real enjoyment from spooking the kids and just the other people in the
or
city.
anyone. I mean, like I'll just briefly mention a moment in the finale that's just like you didn't have to say that. Like he calls Hanlon Leroy up and he's like telling him he's got Will, and he's like, the dark meat tastes better, and I'm like, you didn't have to say that. Like you absolute menace. Like it's so good. Like he's all about just screwing with everyone. What's the first thing he does when he gets waken up when the totem gets burned? He prank calls Will as Ronnie. Like you didn't have to do that. Like he's
like, I can't wait to see your stinky body.
Yeah, like dude, Pennywise is an absolute menace to society, literally and also figuratively. Like he is so funny. Yeah, and that moment too, where at the black spot when he shows up and he's in the fire and he's just like dancing and he comes over, he's like, I know a way out, and then he's just eating her, and then keep getting Halloran sees him and he's like, and Halloran starts seeing all the ghosts and he's like, are you seeing things, Dickie? Because I think they're seeing you. Like he's just like, dude, I was literally laughing in like happiness when he was like fucking around with Halloran. I was like, oh my god, this is peak. This is so good.
What did you guys make of like the whole Native American like storyline and everything?
I like that they kind of showed that they knew what they were talking about, and the military was like going out of their way to overstep the bounds of where they should have been to take advantage of Pennywise, like with the general thinking that he was going to unleash Pennywise and be able to control it and really just take over the entire world with the feeling of fear somehow.
I think it's a really good like metaphor too of like settlers and colonists overstepping boundaries and always taking things for themselves and like not listening to indigenous people and just like though just always taking things for themselves and not worrying about how it affects the people around them, and literally that's like it's just such a good basis for like what Pennywise stands for. Pennywise is like a culmination of just all the terrible evil of humanity put into one clown. So I really like that, and I really like seeing the backstory of like, because there's always been the question of like, why does Pennywise only haunt Derry? So I like the fact that they like gave you a reason for why he's there. It can also give you reasons for like why he's maybe not as powerful as he could be. And I also like seeing the backstory. Like one of the coolest Pennywise moments that isn't the clown form is when he's attacking the indigenous people in the backstory, and he turns into a priest and baby Jesus pops out of his chest. And it's showing like that these indigenous people were actually terrified of the religion being forced on them and of the colonizers like taking over. And it's like, dude, like that's so cool. Like a small moment, but it shows so much.
No, I think you're that like kind of in the same breath of like what you just said, Tyler, of like how some of these fears were like portrayed in the characters, like when they showed up to their individual characters. Like for example, like Ronnie had the, I guess I don't know what you would want to call it, where her like mother basically her bed turns into her mother.
Oh, the womb. Yeah. Cause didn't she kill her mom in childbirth?
And like childbirth, I guess that's like kind of what is like, I don't know, I guess presumed, I guess, but I don't know. It's just like this whole idea of like fears are a lot deeper than like kind of what we think, and it's not just like, oh, like we're afraid of like scary monsters and spiders and like other things. Like, it's a lot deeper than that. Like it's, oh, I think I have this like kind of unwavering fear that I might have like been the reason my mom is no longer alive, like the same thing with Lily, like with her dad dying in this like
the pickle
factory accident. She's like, oh, if I didn't leave whatever it was she left in the factory and he had to go back and retrieve it, like he would still be here. So it's like,
it's fear and it's guilt. I really like that. Yeah. And then you have the moments that
logical, like they weren't just showing the like physical fears like you guys talked about with just zombies and vampires showing up everywhere. Like the mental and emotional aspect of what makes these people afraid of things like that was a really good point.
Yeah, because it's like
with the Native American or indigenous people that they showed. I liked, or I guess I didn't like, but I respected like when they showed the military go out of their way to get information from them, And then once they got that information, they would promise them like, okay, yeah, we won't use this for negative reasons. We won't overstep into your into the reservations and stuff that they had. And then they immediately would overstep their bounds.
Immediately. Didn't even think twice about it. Yeah, I thought it was really cool seeing that there's like still like a little tribe of them like there to protect Derry and keep Derry from. But it's also kind of like, again, it's always about, even in that stake, not looking at the race part of it, but like looking at just like how humans and mostly like adults will overlook atrocities. Like that tribe is just like, oh yeah, every 27 years he's just gonna kill a bunch of kids and we're just got to deal with it. We just got to make sure he doesn't get, like, they're not actively trying to figure out a way to kill Pennywise or get him back away from like Earth. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, a bunch of kids. Like they could start to like, well, they could start to move him back so he literally can't go anywhere. Like, no, they're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, and I like the tribe, after the black spot, they're like, oh, all right, see you in another 27 years. Like,
yeah, I think there was like a moment in that I kind of like sit down with like all the indigenous people where like one of the young woman was like, I think they said like 16 dead people or whatever. And she's obviously like visibly upset. And then the older guy is just like, yeah, well, you know, it is what
it is. What it is.
It's just like, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
What did you guys think of Taniel? Which I don't know if you guys realize. I didn't realize until just recently, but that is the same guy from The Long Walk.
Yeah.
He got slimed in both. He got kirkified in both.
Oh.
I saw a comment like, why do they keep... I was like dying.
No, dude, I definitely did like notice that when I was watching it. And I got to say, I'm really sick of seeing that guy die.
Yeah.
Joshua Ajik, I think his name is. That guy did a great job in both of those, and he got done dirty in both movies.
Dude, any Stephen King adaptation that guy's in, I just immediately am gonna know now he's dead. That's crazy. He was in 2 absolutely stellar Stephen King adaptations in the same year. That's really cool.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
His character arc was so like tragic.
Yeah.
Like he got brain blasted in the
yeah.
And then they forced him into the sewers. And then they shot at him when they weren't listening to their own like directives, basically, on how to get out of there safely.
Then he loses the shard.
To go back again to try to save the kids, and then he got shot by the military in the end.
I was not expecting that when he's just like going with the shard. He falls out like, oh, like again, that's just showing again that like sometimes Pennywise isn't even the worst fear. Like literally, the white man kills the indigenous person. Like, come on. It's really good. And I was watching some interviews with the director, and he talks about it a lot, about like how the book and the story of it is so rooted in with racism and homophobia, and how like Pennywise just exaggerates that emotion in the people there just to he uses it as a tool because he knows he can like use that to screw around with everyone. I think this show did that really well, showing more than just like the pure fear factor of Pennywise. Just like he knows. He might be alien, but he knows.
So what did you make of that scene with Halloran and Taniel in that like interrogation room where he goes into his mind to retrieve the secrets of where all these shards are?
I thought that was like a really well acted scene. I thought that was one of the cooler episode moments. When he went into his head and you just see all of the backstory that you get, it made sense for the moment, and it kind of builds the lore of both characters in like a really cool and natural way. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool way. It builds so much lore. First of all, you get the lore of Pennywise, how he came down on the meteor, how the indigenous tribe tried to fight back against it, and they found the meteorite and they caged him. And then you get the lore about also Taniel and how he learned about it and like what his goal is. And then you also get the lore of the Shining powers. Like throughout this whole thing, we're still learning about the powers of the Shining, which I think is really cool because obviously Stephen King's universe, there's so many characters with The Shining and what that is, and a lot of times we don't really know what it is unless you're like deeper in the lore. But I like the fact that in this one it was like you really get some cool lore pieces without over explaining it.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. Like, because this makes me want to go back and watch The Shining, because I think I've seen that movie twice. Once when I was like way too young to watch it and like zero comprehension skills, and
that dog scene probably
just afraid.
The dog scene probably screwed you. I know that ingrained in here, and I never wanted to watch it because that scene.
And then again, when I was like a little bit older and I had like a better, I guess, understanding of it. But now it's like after watching this show, I feel like I would like understand it like a lot better.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
I think that scene was like really, really unique with Halloran kind of like you said, demonstrating what the power can do. I don't know. It just felt like that scene. He like felt so manipulative in his own sense, but it was like through, orders of like the military.
Yeah.
So,
I like the point where he finally gets a story and you hear like laughing at it, and I'm thinking he's Pennywise because he's got the big smile and he's like, I got you now, and I'm like, damn. But it's also like Halloran's just like following orders and everything, and he's kind of being manipulated, but he's also, he's not a perfect human being either. Like he's kind of just like following the orders, and he knows kind of what he's doing is wrong, but he also kind of likes being like the top dog,
Yeah. I thought that was a really cool through plot though. Like the theme of following orders like continuously kept coming back, not just with Halloran, but with Leroy as well, where they're in the sewers, for example, and he's taught that you got to shoot at whatever you're seeing because you can't take it seriously. And then he almost shoots his own son because of how dedicated he is to following the orders that he's been given. And it's like his best friend takes the bullet for him, and then it leads to a falling out between him and his son about his friends dying and how Will would never want to let that happen. And then we see Rich die later too, and Will has like a similar experience. I would have liked to see that kind of get talked about a little bit more.
Because Will's always saying like, I gotta go back, like I can't leave them, and at first it's kind of like you're not, but then at the end it's almost like he also was saying like, I don't want to be like my dad in certain ways, like I don't want to be like what my dad is trying to make me. I want to be brave.
And I think in the finale they kind of did come back to that a little bit, where Leroy and Will have that short conversation where he's like, I don't want you to grow up and be me, like you don't have to
be yourself.
I want you to
because in the beginning of the show, remember, like
when he gets the telescope,
and then his dad's like, oh, I wanted to get him this, I wanted to play baseball, and I don't remember what the mom's name is.
Charlotte
is like, that's not him, like, and then even when he's like reading the textbook and Ronnie's making fun of him, I wanted to punch Ronnie, like, don't make fun of my boy Will. And she's like, you're the only person who would ever read that. He's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shout out the homie Will.
Yeah, Will. But shout out Will with the money.
I think it's interesting, like how there's like this whole dialogue between him and his dad about like not wanting to like be that person, when there's also like a whole storyline of like Leroy being the only man in the whole town of Derry, like without fear, essentially, and how he might be like the perfect one to kind of control Pennywise and that entity. And now he's like,
but I think because that also confused me a little bit, because they say that Leroy doesn't have any fear, but then he does show fear. Like in the sewers, he's like, is it fear? Is it stress? Is it whatever? Like, because then and then even in Pennywise at the end, he's like, I know the one thing that will make you fear is like, I have your kid. So it also showed that he does have fear. So I don't know. That plot felt like it got a little lost for me. Like I never felt like there was one point where he was like staring down Pennywise, like ready to tussle or something, Like he was always kind of like freaking out just a little bit.
Yeah,
as a normal human should.
Yeah, right. I mean, I wouldn't. I know if I saw Pennywise, me and him would chop it up. We'd be friends.
Oh, right. Yeah.
This guy's the first one gone if Pennywise shows up.
Yeah, right. Pennywise is going. It might not even look in your direction because you're not going to taste good anyway.
No, he's not looking in my direction because he doesn't want any smoke with me.
Yeah. Okay. You know that guy who got his head chopped in half? That's you.
No. Pennywise knows what I'm afraid of, and he's not worried about that.
Well, he knows what I'm afraid of, and he's going to come out as Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, and kiss me. That's my fear. Yeah,
I'm afraid of getting free V-Bucks in Fortnite.
No, so you can buy Kim K and Cardi and all the bleach skins.
Yeah.
Oh God. Real quick, because I mentioned that, I really like that moment where Periwinkle and Pennywise also meet up at the black spot, and you could tell Pennywise is like he's trying to like keep up this like persona of like, oh, I'm your dad, and I like how she's like, the moment she starts like grab him and like order him around is like when he starts to like be like, all right, you're pissing me off now. And I like when he gives her a hug and you could see how absolutely uncomfortable he is, he's just like, oh, like stop, like don't touch me, like, but I want you around because you'll help me like kill some kids and stuff and whatnot. And then he just, again, like he doesn't have to mess with people so much. But Pennywise, then he turns around, he's like, oh, I'm the Pennywise, the dancing daddy. And she's like, you're not dad. And then Pennywise just starts spamming the deadlights on everyone. He was spamming his ult. He got his ult charge back every 10 seconds, just ulting on everyone, just deadlights, 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 deadlights. He's like, I'm not taking no one at any face value. Everyone's getting deadlighted. He deadlights her, he deadlights Will, he deadlights all the kids, he deadlights like literally everyone. He's just like, yeah, fuck you all.
No, but like I did like that whenever he was around someone that wasn't afraid of him, whether it was the periwinkle at first or even the general later when he first got there, as soon as they started showing those like cracks of maybe being afraid, he just immediately starts trolling them until like, they're so terrified he can do whatever he wants.
He sees like a little crack and he just puts his hand in there and opens it. Like he's just like, he smells it just a little bit. And sometimes I don't even think he really wants to eat them. I think he's just like, yeah, this is fun. I think Pennywise genuinely has fun doing this. Like, he genuinely enjoys just
like when he told the general he could smell that on him. He was like, I would never forget that smell. Rubbing his hands like birds.
Yeah, literally.
Or in the flashback scene with Halloran where they start to move his body and he sees like his arm is like black.
Oh my, wait.
And he realizes, he's like, wait.
Yeah.
Guy's been smacking me around. I know who this is.
Wait a minute.
Let's talk about the finale. What did you guys think of Welcome to Derry's season finale, episode 8? What would you rate it out of 10?
Maybe like a 9.5. There were a lot of great Pennywise moments. There were a couple of times where I was like, they're kind of giving like plot armor. He's trolling so much, it's like counterproductive to him being able to beat the kids. But all in all, I thought it was a really nice finale. I give it like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would probably say about the same, like probably a 9 out of 10. Like you said, but I feel like that's like kind of part of his character, the fact that he like probably feels invincible.
He's got an ego. He's just got a huge ego.
Exactly. And like you said, continues to troll, and that's kind of like leads to his demise. But obviously at the end, it's like the death is the beginning almost. So it just like sets the cycle.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'd give the finale like a 9.5. I do agree, and in the moment I was like, "Oh, Pennywise, why are you just crawling on the ground? Like, get up and run." But I don't think it took away from me, and I do think like if we're just looking at like a writing standpoint, he can't win. Like, they're not gonna let him win. I wish they did. That would be awesome if they really flipped the script on us. But also, being this is a sequel to the It movies, he couldn't really win. But if they really wanted to like change up the timeline, he could win. But granted that they weren't going to do that. We knew he couldn't really win because he has to be in Derry 27 years later. But I think there is lore reasons why he lost. First of all, his ego. Like, he's a cosmic demon clown, or not even demon clown. He's a cosmic demon god who's invincible. Like, of course he thinks he's gonna win. Like, and I love it because Pennywise ran in slow motion on purpose in the finale. He's running like this, just staring at them, like just like smiling. I'm like, the guy's put himself in slow motion just to fuck with them, like skipping.
Like, in the same vein, like the same way he was like slow motion skipping, he was also like speed running past them.
Yeah, like he showed.
Like, come on, man! Like, if you really wanted to just like run out of here and dip, like you could have been gone.
So that's what I agree with. I agree that and then also he grows wings. Like, he could have grown wings at any point and then just flew away. So yes, I do think there's a little bit of plot armor, but yeah. So the first thing is he's got an ego. He likes to mess with people. Second thing is, we do learn, which we got to talk about later, but I'm going to briefly mention it. He perceives time in a different way than what we expected. So he might know, like, regardless, he's going to be captured there or whatever. So he knows no matter what, something's going to happen to keep him from getting out there. So now he's just going to mess with them because he knows he's already going to lose.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. Like, after the episode ended, I was like, maybe he's just so sure that nothing is going to change, that he's just trying to get the trolls off while he can.
Yeah. And then 2 or 3 is that there's a lot of talk, I think in the book and just the lore, is that Pennywise is like deliberately trying to change fate, but he can't.
Yeah.
Fate will always keep him in Derry so that he eventually dies by the Losers Club in It Chapter 2. But now Pennywise is trying to change that fate. But Maturin, the turtle, the cosmic god, and the gods are not going to let him. They need him captured in Derry. They're not going to let him. Fate keeps him there. So like no matter what, there's always going to be some reason he was going to get taken away. So whether or not he knows that or not. And then with that also, like once he starts to realize like, oh, Marge, you were the mother of one of the Losers Club. Now I kind of want to take you out because those kids are the ones who are supposed to kill me later. So then he gets kind of intertwined with all that. So I think there's some cool lore reasons of why he didn't just escape and win fully. But there's also just like a writing plot armor part. Like he has to.
Yeah. I like that they explained why Lily was always hoarding the shard and wouldn't let anybody else.
She was becoming Gollum.
Like when she first got it, I was like, yo, Lily's got to share. Like she's the only one who's safe.
Lily's got to share. Yeah. She's like, I don't care if you die.
I don't want anybody else touch this thing.
I mean, I would not let you touch it. I'd be the holder of it. You, Spencer, you'd be the first one that you wouldn't Maddie from the first.
Absolutely not. The second you got that shard, I'm taking it from you, and there's nothing you can do to stop.
No way. You might have the shard, but Pennywise is still just going to kill you because you can't do nothing with that shard.
With or without the shard, I would just no. You're walk up to Pennywise. I'd be like, yeah, no, bro.
You're Taniel. You're not even dying from Pennywise. You're getting shot by a nameless goon on the military.
I would see my boy P walk him down, and I'd dap him up, and he'd give me my respect.
Yeah,
boy P. Well, there's because they mentioned that it's like it has like powers that kind of like manipulates you to like change how your personality is, your characteristics are.
It drives you crazy because it wants to go back to the landing site.
Right. I guess there's also like the whole. I mean, there's that, but also. Like her literally coming face to face with Pennywise in the sewers and then having that thing literally save her life.
Oh, I mean, it totally makes sense even without the shard driving her crazy, like why she would be like tweaking. I mean, she almost died by this thing. Like how many times I would be like, I'd be in Juniper Hill. Like I'd be like, oh, like I'd be tweaking. So it makes sense. And I think the actress did a really great job.
Yeah. Lily definitely has a million reasons to be traumatized and not trust anybody else with it.
Literally. I mean, she literally like tries to save Marge, who was like bullying her, and then she gets framed for stabbing her eye. Again, another way Pennywise just screws with them is like, I'm gonna make you look like you just did this. Like, guy's a D1 troll. Like, it's crazy.
What did you think about the school scene where he's kind of puppeteering the principal and like lures all the kids in? That was great.
It's phenomenal, dude. Again, another troll. Like Pennywise is just all about just messing with everyone. and then he comes out and he rips the principal's head off and he
throws it across the gym.
Throws the dead body to all the kids, and then he spams the deadlights again. Like you could have just spammed it right away, but no. Again, he just was like, yeah.
No, he definitely started emoting on the kids before he hit them with the deadlights. He did the signature dance.
He did the signature dance. Okay, wait. In the school scene in It Welcome to Derry's finale, did you guys catch that Pennywise's like dance on the stage before he spams his deadlights on all the children was the same dance, which we've known from the movies, but he did the same routine that Bob Gray did in the background, in the backstory, the flashback that brought all the kids to him. So it's crazy because you see Bob Gray doing this to delight kids and bring them joy, and then Pennywise twists it to troll them before he deadlights them and causes irreparable damage that will never be fixed. And try to eat them.
Yeah, if the kids in Derry weren't forgetting everything that happened to them as kids by the time they were adults or left town, it would just be Trauma Town.
Well, so in It Chapter 2, Stanley, all the Losers Club leave, and they start to forget, and then they eventually start to remember. And what happens is like, the lore of it is mostly when you see the deadlights and when you encounter Pennywise. if you do get away from Derry, it kind of just like you don't really know why, but it kind of just eats away at your soul. It's like literally just depression and anxiety just building up in you and building up until you just can't handle it anymore. And when you start to remember, you just can't comprehend it, and that's why Stanley kills himself in it chapter 2, is because he literally. So like a lot of these kids, they're fine now. Like they might not be making it much longer in their life if they remember what Pennywise did to them. So. I love his scream too when he's just like dancing. He's like, "Ah!" He just opens up. It's fucking beautiful.
Or like when he was driving the truck down the ice thing, and he was like playing the trumpet.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Pennywise playing the trumpet was one of the funniest moments because there's no one there to listen to it. He's doing that just for the love of the game. He's doing it just to literally just to like entertain himself and mess with these kids that are like in a trance and like dying. And he's just like, no one's around.
It really felt like an evil Pied Piper.
It was great.
He was literally just playing music for the sake of it to control everybody.
I love it. It's so good.
What did you think the most brutal scene was in It Welcome to Derry? Because I think for me, it was a scene with Marge and like the school where her eyes are kind of like popping out of her head, and then she goes into, I don't know, I guess like a wood shop class or something, and like basically cuts her eyes out. That to me, jeez.
Yeah.
That was like the one scene where I was like really grimacing at the screen. I was like, I don't know if I can watch this.
Yeah.
It might be the first episode for me. Like the ending of it when they're all in the theater and you see what was her name? Like Sammy or something? Like the little girl like reach out
Susie, I think.
Susie.
Yeah, that's right. Where she's like reaching out for Lily, trying to save her life. And then you just see nothing but her arm. And I'm just like, I know what I'm in for at this point.
In terms of like actually brutal, like it would be the black spot. But if you're talking Pennywise brutal, I would say maybe the first episode or the March episode. I think that those two were just so just crazy. I think maybe the first episode. Just shock of that was just insane. Because like I watched that like day one, and I was like, all right, so these are the kids. Let me get to know them, and then it all just got murdered, and I was like,
I was like, this is the OG Losers Club, and it's all gone at the end of the episode, and then the credits roll, and you're just sitting there like, what did I just watch?
And you can't go to episode 2, so you have a week of just sitting there like, what is the show? Like it's great, it's so good. What was your favorite Pennywise moment in It Welcome to Derry?
Maybe that school scene, like at the end, where like he just deadlighted the entire room after showing the principal, because it just showed you his power. Ooh, or when he first woke up, when he realized that he had more power in that like pool of blood and guts. And
I love his eyes.
His eyes out from above the water.
And he legitimately just looks confused. He like looks around and he's like, because he's like, I'm not supposed to be awake right now. And it's like, oh, y'all done fucked up. Y'all fucked up.
And he's like, I know exactly what time it is. And
pranking Will time.
Immediately starts making prank calls.
Immediately prank calls. Well, he didn't have to. He just could have appeared behind him and grabbed him. No, he had to prank call. Will's like, I'm not afraid of you. He's like, I can't hear you.
And then he turns around. He's right there.
And he's on top of the fridge. I'm like,
oh, man.
Yeah, I'd say my favorite Pennywise moment, dude, there's so many good ones. Like the finale has so many top tier moments, but I really, really liked the black spot, like him in the fire. I think that showed not only his like terrifying moments, like of him eating that woman, him messing with her, and then him chopping the guy's head off and eating it like an apple, him deadlighting Ingrid, but I also just really love that moment where he's messing with Howler and he's like, are you saying things, Dickie? Because I think they're seeing you. And I'm like, dude, this is peak. This is actually so peak. Real quick on that, before Jory, you give your answer, just because I'm going to forget to mention this. There's a theory online that the reason why Rich didn't die from Pennywise in that moment was because he was being brave for Marge. So he didn't have fear because he was being brave for her and saving her. So he didn't taste good. So Pennywise didn't go after him. And I think that's such a great, because if he got eaten by Pennywise, his soul is trapped in the deadlights forever. So he died. He's stuck in Derry, but he died in a brave way. And that's why Pennywise didn't get him. I like that theory. I'm going with that.
Is that why he was able to come back like at the end and help him push the shard?
Yeah. Because if he was stuck in the deadlights, like
Hmm.
I don't think his soul is ever coming back. But him dying not by Pennywise, I think is the reason why he's able to lure Ray. I don't know. Anyway,
Makes
Jory,
sense.
give your answer. What was your favorite Pennywise?
Maybe when they all go down to the sewer and Maddie's character turns into Pennywise, because I genuinely thought like Maddie was all good, like that whole episode, pretty much. And I
Yeah.
was like even you said this when we were talking last time, Tyler, about how he like kind of hints at the fact that it was Pennywise.
Yeah, there's a lot of red flags.
Sleeping like during the day or whatever. Or
Yeah, he said
something like
he
that.
said that it sleeps during the day and comes out at night, and we're like, we've seen it come out during the day,
But,
but
like-
we overlooked it.
Yeah, I kind of just like saw past like every probably kind of
Red flag.
and was just like, oh yeah, he's back, cool, great. And I'm like,
Yeah,
now he's like luring him down in this tunnel, and I'm like, you know what? It's starting to make less and less sense now the more I think about it. And then of course he turns into Pennywise, and I was like,
so that
again,
To
yeah,
me, what tipped it off was like when he was saying no cops and he would rather do anything than go like back down there.
yeah.
Something like that.
No, it was the other way. He'd rather do
Yeah.
anything. He'd rather go down there than go to the cops or back home. And I was like, you'd rather go to the demonic cosmic.
You just said
kid-eating-
everything was bad down there and
Yeah.
like kids were getting eaten and stuff.
honestly though, like that really didn't throw me off, because like, you know, obviously in the first episode it's like he's in the movie theater alone where he shouldn't be, and then he's just like wandering the streets and decides to like, you know, hitchhike with some random family rather than just go home. And we don't really know like what Maddie's home life is.
That's
So
true.
it could be like incredible, like, you know, like we've been saying, like this whole town is
Yeah.
like the actual evil. So who knows like what his home life is. And he might have
Mhm.
actually believed that like going back to this, you know, underworld would have been better. But
Yeah, so that's
Maybe
why I
it was
believed it too.
Thinking for me.
Yeah. For me, and this is why the weekly releases were so important to the show for me, because there was theories leading up to that episode that some of the kids from that first episode were still alive, because when he was haunting them in the graveyard scene and in the grocery store, I forget which of the kids it was, maybe Teddy. He was never showing Teddy dead. And so everyone was like, oh, Teddy's alive, Teddy's down there and alive. That's why he hasn't shown him dead yet. So when Maddie came back, I was like, oh, it's true. Like he didn't eat all of them yet, and one of them escaped. And I overlooked every red flag like you, Jordy. And then he revealed it. And I was like, yeah, I'm an idiot. Why would I ever believe anything?
yeah,
But that was like a cool scene when like he stands up and like turns around and you're like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
like, he really got them all.
Down with the clown. Down with the clown. And I was like, oh, y'all are fucked. Yeah, that was really cool. But back to the finale. Did you guys catch all of the Easter egg and cameos in the finale? Welcome to Derry, because there was a ton. So I'll list off a couple, see if you guys recognized it. The tea that Halloran drinks that helps calm the shining is called the Maturin root, and Maturin is the name of the space turtle god that's the arch enemy of Pennywise. I thought that was a really cool way, the turtle. So I thought that was a pretty cool way of bringing that name in, whether or not they'll go down the turtle route or not. I was really expecting in the finale just to see like a turtle in the sky or something, like maybe not coming down, but like they look up and they just see like a shadow of it, and they're like, what the hell was that? And then no one else sees it type thing. Thought that was pretty cool.
I did notice the one where Lily always had like a turtle on her bracelet
Yeah.
throughout the show. And then for her to be the one that finds the shard, I was
Yeah.
like, she's been protected by the turtle like this whole time.
Yep, exactly. And then obviously Pennywise talks about his time warping experiencing, and he shows Finn Wolfhard Richie from the first It. Obviously that one was straight in your face. He told you that. That was pretty cool. I liked that one. And then Dick Halloran also talks about the end. He's like, oh, I'm going to go work in a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm going in the hotel business. Nothing bad ever happens in a hotel. And it's like, Dick, you don't understand what you're about to get yourself into, because you're going to The Shining. I don't think the hotel he talked about was the Overlook Hotel, because he goes there a lot older, but he's getting into the hotel business, which will bring him to Jack Torrance, The Shining. So I thought that was pretty cool as well.
I haven't seen The Shining, but I did see somebody like talk about it, and they were saying that maybe the reason that he went to the hotel was to be safe and protected from Pennywise, because something with where the building was or how it works would mess with what Pennywise was able to do to him?
It could be. I mean, I guess technically, now that we have this series, Pennywise couldn't do anything to him because it would be outside Derry. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure why he ends up going to if there's any reason Pennywise related, but we know he works there and he ends up showing Danny in The Shining a lot about The Shining and seeing the dead people and stuff. And oh my God, I'm forgetting a couple more Easter eggs that I caught.
I mean, I guess at the very end where they show Beverly.
Oh, Beverly, yeah, Beverly Marsh. That was cool.
That was
do you guys? Do you guys think Beverly Marsh's mom is Lily? There's a theory going around about that. I don't think so.
I kind of guess they have like the same like quirks and everything.
Yeah, and the Juniper Hill
anxious kind of characters.
But I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think every character in the prequel needs to be connected to the Losers Club. It's cool that some of them are. Then there's more obviously with the Hanlon family staying on the farm, which is when we end up seeing Mike later on. And he talks about the being on the farm with his father and his grandpa, and they mention stuff about Derry and whatnot. Marge obviously getting the last name Tozer. And
how do you think Marge's husband or whoever the father of their child is about
her naming
her child after Rich,
after her first love?
Richie. I mean, he's a savage. It makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
That guy probably didn't know.
Yeah, no.
He's probably just like, yeah, he saved my life.
Well, we don't know who Marge's husband was, so I don't think they ever show. So yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's maybe a couple other Easter eggs. I don't know. I think it just connected a lot. All right. How about this? This is the big reveal in the finale. What do you guys think about Pennywise revealing that he experiences time all at once? So he knew the future, he knows the past, he knows all of it all at once in this crazy lore drop of knowing about the Losers Club. Like, how did you guys comprehend that?
I thought that was a cool ad. I thought it kind of neatly wrapped up like why he made some of his other decisions in the finale episode, like why he went after Marge and tried to separate her from everybody and take her out early, because he knew what was going to happen later on with the Losers Club. He didn't want to see any of that happen, and he's trying to do his best to alter the timeline where he can.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to comprehend like the whole time thing, but no, I think it makes sense. I mean, obviously,
I think some of it will make more sense hopefully once we get another season, or maybe they're talking about doing like 2 more seasons, with this season being the black spot. And I think in the movie they mentioned like the gang war thing that we saw in the title sequence, where like
and the car that they pull up in like
the building shooting the gun.
Yes, there's 2 other events that are talked about, and the director already said like what the 2 events, the seasons will be based around. The next season will take place 27 years before this one, for the Bradley gang murders, which is the car that they pull up in the beginning where they dig it out, and then also where Pennywise is on the building with the fucking Tommy gun. And then the season before that, they talk about it a lot in the movies, and they talk about it now, which was the Ironworks explosion, where a bunch of kids go to this Ironworks facility for an Easter egg hunt, and it explodes and kills like a bunch of kids.
Jeez.
So those are the 2 seasons he has in mind.
Okay. I also like how time is moving opposite how it was when the original or the last 2 iterations of the It movies happened. Like you had the kids, the Losers Club in It Chapter 1 as children, and then you had them 27 years later in It Chapter 2. And now we're kind of progressing time backwards to show how Pennywise sees time in both directions.
Yeah, so it's really confusing. I don't think anyone will super comprehend what Pennywise was saying and how he comprehends time, because we aren't Pennywise. We aren't a cosmic deity. A lot of people are like, oh, he time traveled. He died in It Chapter 2, so he time traveled back. No, that's not what he said. He experiences past, present, and future all at once. So the way that someone explained it, which is kind of interesting, and I like kind of thinking of it this way, it's like imagine you're looking at your phone and you're paying attention to your phone. This phone is 2026. And then over here, a clock goes up, alarm clock, and you're watching a movie on your phone. You look over at the alarm clock. The movie is still going, but now you're paying attention to the alarm clock over there. And that's the way that Pennywise is. All of the timelines, every time where Pennywise is awake is all stacked on each other, all running parallel to him. And he's in each of them. He understands what's happening in every one of them, but there's a main conscious where his body is paying attention to, and that changes. Why or when or how he changes it is up to him. So in this show, I think like whatever movie we're watching, his like consciousness is in that moment. But obviously, after he's experienced fully in chapter 2, his now consciousness is turned back to this time where he's going to try to now maybe stop that from happening. But it's not a time travel thing. I guess it's a loop, which is why he say every death is a rebirth that he doesn't understand, because it's just always a loop. He's always waking up and going back to sleep and waking up and going back to sleep and waking up and going back to sleep. He's forever. So I think it's really interesting, and I'm curious in the next 2 seasons if he will mention things that have happened in the first season and in It 1 and It 2. Yeah, it's confusing. It doesn't totally make sense, but it's pretty cool to know that like he knows about everything that's been going on.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense now that you laid it out, because it wasn't confusing.
Totally confusing, but I think it was confusing on purpose because, again, he's a cosmic god. Like, he doesn't make sense to us. So I think it sets up some really cool things, mostly because that also gives the hint that maybe in It Chapter 2, when he died, maybe he didn't die. Maybe you could have an It Chapter 3. I hope they don't, because that would be like the 2000s, and I don't want Pennywise like taking the form of like Duolingo or something like like that would suck.
Duolingo.
But I like the fact that they're going back in time. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, you know, like you said, to go back and I guess another 27 years or whatnot.
Yeah.
See, like, I don't know, even different dynamics within just like the town itself and stuff. So
I hope we also don't see like the relatives to the characters we already like. I'm completely fine almost like having some crossovers. Like maybe we see Leroy. No, Leroy wouldn't be there. Maybe we see someone from the show who's younger now in that timeline. But I'm also happy just having a completely new set of characters, and we just get to experience Pennywise just in each timeline. Like, I don't know. I think it'll be cool. I don't think we need to. It'll be cool to connect, but I think some of the connections will lose its oomph if everyone's a connection. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited for like a new
Rose, yeah.
Though. Like every season or movie is kind of 27 years apart. It's a kind of a different kind of period piece every single time. So I'm looking forward to the new timeline or the new year that it's going to be set in.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the way that what do you think about the way that Pennywise was defeated in It Welcome to Derry? With them putting the shard in the ground and everything like that.
I thought it was a nice little storybook ending. All the kids played their part. Rich got to come back.
I was going to say, yeah, what do you think about Rich coming back? Our boy flipping off Pennywise.
I was just about to get to that. The scene where he got to flip off Pennywise was honestly heartwarming.
Not only that,
he got his get back.
Yeah, but not only that, but Richie from the Losers Club flips everyone off all the time. He's always flipping everyone off. So it's a cool little callback to show, like, I mean, that's not his father, but
that's his real dad.
Yeah, Richie's his real dad. Yeah.
No, I liked it too, and I like how they all kind of acknowledged, like, oh yeah, I felt the presence of Rich in that moment, and he was the reason that, like, kind of what put us over the hump to defeat Pennywise. So that was cool. But also, like, I think it was Leroy who gave Will like the shard and was basically like giving him the confidence to like go and basically dismantle Pennywise, being like, hey, I'm not you. And like, yeah, it's kind of like the whole story that we've been following, like I want you to be better than me and like do this, be brave and all that. So
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
I think so. I think everyone got their get back. Everyone got their good story arc moment, except Hank Rogan, who all he did was just scream, Ronnie! Ronnie!
Dude, I was gonna mention that. We
Ronnie!
gotta talk about the Hank Grogan Ronnie ad libs in the season finale.
Ronnie! Ronnie!
Anytime somebody says Ronnie's name, you'd be like, "What? My baby Ronnie?
My baby
Ronnie!"
Like literally.
He was frying me the whole episode.
Yeah. Like Ronnie!
like just a liability.
Yeah, literally.
Dude, even at the end, like everybody's shooting their gun. Hank's got his. He's not aiming at anybody. He's just like walking around. I'm like, dude,
Something.
are you gonna contribute anything? You know how many people died to get you to this moment?
Oh,
Like,
Ronnie! I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Ronnie's right in front of you. You know what? Put his ass in Shawshank prison.
damn. Oh,
Nah, he was a good character, but yeah, he definitely like.
no, I was definitely like, it should have been him.
yeah.
He should have died, dude.
Instead of Daniel, it was him.
Literally,
yeah.
Daniel was pulling up clutch plays every single time.
Yeah. Daniel was not afraid. He was just like, yeah, whatever. He's like getting put in danger. Daniel is being put in danger at every turn. He's like, all right, whatever. There's a fucking tribe of us, but I guess I'll do it like every single time.
Yeah.
Oh man. And
All
Rose's
he was sleep with a white woman and incite a race war, and didn't do anything positive.
and then dips and then makes Ronnie dip from Derry.
I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of positive.
Yeah, I guess so.
Had her out of there,
Yeah.
but he was a net negative.
For the most part, yeah.
Oh, that's
Had a
funny.
negative plus minus.
Yeah. Speaking of that, who was your favorite character in It Welcome to Derry?
Either Rich
Not
or,
including Pennywise.
either Rich or Halloran for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Halloran's my favorite grown up. Richie or Lily were probably my favorite kids. Oh no, I did really like Will. Shit. If I had to pick one, I'm gonna go Rich. Our boy Rich.
I think, yeah, probably Will was my favorite because I just really love like the dynamic between him and his dad. Like I just felt like some of those moments were the best moments in the show, like them going fishing and then him having kind of like that vision in the water and just like seeing the fear that his dad had. That was, I don't know. Just
One thing about that, I saw someone talking about it. We didn't even clock it, but when Will went fishing and he had Pennywise grabbed him or whatever, he grabs him and he goes, "You'll burn too," because Will, we know because of it or the It movies and stuff that Will eventually die in a fire. So Pennywise was showing that he knows the future right there. He's like, "You'll burn too. You're gonna burn." And so we didn't even clock it right there that Pennywise knows the future. We didn't even clock it. We're just like, "Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy." We didn't even realize that he knew right there. So that's cool.
damn.
Definitely cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't even
Will.
clock it.
Shout out to homie Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to all the kids.
Yeah, my favorite character, I guess I would say, would be the Police Chief Bowers.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think he had the best character arc. I think where his character ended off was really well developed, and I strive to. Nah, I can't. All right. Anyway, fuck that guy. fuck his kid too.
Oh my
What
god.
do you guys think about the way that Welcome to Derry wrapped up Lily's character arc? I know they showed her finally being able to go to the cemetery and see her dad, but do you feel like that was enough of a wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know I saw people complaining about it. Yeah, I guess because she's like our main character, like maybe we could see like a little bit, but I don't know what else you would see with her. Like she went to, like her character arc finished, like she went to her dad. Like maybe her saying goodbye to all the kids, like when they all leave, like saying goodbye to Ronnie and saying goodbye to Will for that moment. Like even though Will ended up staying there, like maybe that could have been cool. But they had that moment. They had the moment where she talks to Marge, and Marge is like, he knew about my future, and I love this moment where Marge is like scared. She's like, he knew. I think he could time travel. Like, what if he goes in the past? And Lily was like, someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, we've really been through enough.
Yeah.
But
so
I guess what people are saying is like, we kind of get an idea of the kind of future that everyone else is going to have. Whereas with our main character, Lily, they don't really show what her future would look like. It's more ambiguous, I guess.
I'm okay with that though.
But yeah, I don't think we need to know like every single little detail about every single character. I like that there's some
open-endedness
left.
Yeah. Also, maybe her life isn't too great. So you know what? Leave it off on a happy note.
Yeah. Very true.
All right. One of the last questions I think I have is rank the entire It franchise. It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, and Welcome to Derry.
You want to go first, Mix?
I think It Chapter 2 is probably at the bottom for me. But I feel like I need to rewatch It Chapter 1 to really have a better idea of how much I like that movie.
Yeah.
But right now, I'd probably say Welcome to Derry's at the top. So, yeah.
Yeah. I would probably put It Chapter 2 at the bottom. I think it just like kind of loses the plot in a way. Like I think it was so focused on being a horror movie with jump scares, like it just got kind of boring because you had to go through each and every single Losers Club member and they all had to get their jump scare. Like it wasn't just like fear moments, like each one of them just had to get their jump scare moment. I think it over relied on CGI. I think it was just a little sloppy in certain ways. Obviously Bill Skarsgård is a standout. I don't think all of the adults were like standouts. Like they were good, but like nothing like crazy. And then I still don't really love the way they defeat Pennywise, like, but it, there's ways that it happens. Well, the way, I don't know. So yeah. And then It Chapter 1 is going to be my second, actually. It's great. And it's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, but like, you just don't get the time to develop everything happening like you do in It Welcome to Derry. Like the kids I loved, the connections I love, the lore pieces I love. I think Pennywise is at his absolute best in terms of his powers and in terms of him actually being the clown. I think Bill Skarsgård is absolutely at his top he's ever been in Welcome to Derry. And I just think the ending was cool. Just overall, just so fantastic. Maybe it's recency bias, but it's number one for me.
Yeah, I honestly think we all had pretty similar lists because for me, I think my least favorite out of the three was It Chapter 2. My second favorite was It Chapter 1. And I do want to go back and rewatch all of them so I can confirm that it's not like recency bias like you were saying too. But I think Welcome to Derry, plot-wise, was the best for me. You got to know the characters on a much deeper level. You got to see a lot more of the different aspects of what makes Pennywise with the shape-shifting, the trolling, the jump scares. Even just the time that he spends with the adults in the town is different than what you're able to see with the Losers Club. So for that reason, I have Welcome to Derry as my favorite.
Yeah. Which Pennywise do you guys like better, Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård?
I don't think I've seen the original.
Curry.
Tim Curry.
I have a hard time imagining anyone other than Bill Skarsgård playing it at this point. So I think it would be hard for me to pick the other person.
I think Tim Curry, right? Tim Curry, that's his name. Yeah, I think Tim Curry plays a pretty cool Pennywise. I think he delivers more in the clown premise because he it was an older miniseries movie. So I think like in terms of like a clown that would lure children in, he kind of looks more like a clown that would probably lure children in. But I have no nostalgia for it. I think it's a cool iteration, but I literally don't think anyone could top Bill Skarsgård. He is untouched. And I think his portrayal of Pennywise not only is untouched in the Pennywise acting world, but I think it is like one of the greatest horror movie performances and monsters of all time.
Yeah, I feel like there's a conversation to be had about like physical acting again. And like where he ranks among like actors who have done, I don't know, kind of, those types of roles. I don't really know how you would kind of categorize movies in that way, but I feel like he's definitely up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, this series was so good. I'm so sad it's over. So yeah. I think we've gone through most of it. I don't really know if there's another. I mean, so much happened in this show. It's really good. Oh, the last thing I want to point out: this was pretty cool. Last thing we can put it on is there's the mist that comes down over Derry in the finale. I thought it's cool. It's obviously like a cool horror moment. It's a cool atmosphere building. But what I think is really cool is also a really cool, and I think the director even said this in that interview. It's also a really good metaphor for Pennywise's influence over the town of Derry. Like he's literally a fog over the top of everyone where they won't see, they don't want to see, they can't see the atrocities happening. And literally how he's like destroying, degrading it. Now it's like, this is like a physical representation of his influence over Derry and the evil over Derry and stuff. And I think that's really cool how it's also like a metaphor for how people are like just blind to what's happening around them and blind to what's happening to Derry and to their people around them. A whole line of kids in a carnival gets taken. They're just like blind to it. So I think it's cool. I think it was a cool little moment. So last thing to leave it off on. So
Yeah.
It was a really good show. Honestly, I can't recommend it enough. I mean, if you watched all of this without watching the show, I don't know why you would do that and spoil it for yourself. But if you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch.
So good. So good. Better than Stranger Things so far. It will be better than Stranger Things.
The TV show here.
Yeah. So that's our review of It Welcome to Derry. Go watch it. One of the best TV shows out right now. Oh God, who is that?
Yeah.
Where's Phil and Teddy and Maddie?
You don't. They're in the lockers.
Oh. Yeah, so that's a review. Sorry we didn't have our Zootopia review out. I had to cut it down too much because Jory was too busy drooling like Pennywise over Judy Hopps. So
okay.
Yeah, he's the real Judy Hopps lover.
Yeah, Judy Hopps lover. We also were ear raping Jory and he didn't want to tell us. So
Right.
But all right, that's our review. Check back next week, this Friday, Avatar Fire and Ash. And supposedly we're going to have a Doomsday trailer, Avengers Doomsday trailer with it.
Yeah. Didn't they say that they're going to release like 4 different teasers or something?
Yeah, it's probably going to be crazy. I cannot get spoiled. I'm going to Avatar Fire and Ash this weekend more for the trailers because there's probably going to be some crazy trailers. So
yeah, it should be cool. I mean, I feel like all that stuff's going to get leaked like day one. Like I saw Disney put out some disclaimer saying don't record or something in the theaters, but you already know that stuff's going to be all over the internet.
All over. So I'm definitely excited. We're going to see it. We're going to review it this weekend. And then we've got the holidays coming around. And then I've heard some really good reviews so far. Early reviews of 28 Years Later Bone Temple. So I'm pumped for that one.
Yeah, we got to see that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't forget Marty Supreme.
Yeah, Marty Supreme. I keep forgetting because they're releasing it on the worst time on Christmas Day, but I'll definitely.
What, you got something going on that day or something? What?
Is there anything more important than ping pong on Christmas?
Yeah. What?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this fucking 4 episodes of Stranger Things 5 dropping for some reason on the biggest holiday of the year. What the fuck, Duffer Brothers? I heard the Duffer Brothers wanted to direct A Welcome to Derry. Thank God they didn't. We'd have Will fucking force blasting Pennywise out. All right. Well,
welcome.
Welcome to the You Didn't Ask podcast.
Welcome to Derry and welcome to You Didn't Ask.
Yep.